Within the Below Deck franchise, there are so many moving parts, shifting cast members and different storylines to any given situation. And out of all that, the popular opinions on the cast and how they've handled things have been given rise. But every story has two sides, and sometimes we're a little too quick to pass judgment. Here are 10 unpopular opinions about the Below Deck franchise. Number 1. Malia White is not as awful as fans think. Now, Malia came off as both a brat and a rat to most of the Below Deck Med viewers, and she has gotten a bad rap because of it from her behavior on seasons 2, 5, and 6. There are those fans out there, however, who don't think that she's as awful as the majority thinks she is. The battle that Malia chose to fight came off as high school to many, and she was not afraid to inconvenience those around her to get what she wanted. And Below Deck critics believe she would regularly try to manipulate situations to her advantage. And the way in which she was promoted by Wes Walton on season 2 also never sat well with most viewers. But there are those Below Deck Med fans out there who admire Malia's hard work and endeavor to take her position seriously. Malia's ability to be good at her job and create teachable moments for those working under her has not gone unnoticed. And, not to mention, the way Malia holds her ground and doesn't tolerate misogynistic tones are also traits that have won the minority of her fans over. Number 2. Captain Glenn Shepard is the best Below Deck franchise captain. Captain Glenn Shepard from Below Deck Sailing is found by many fans to be cool, empathetic, and willing to do every part of the job. But the majority probably favor Captain Lee or Captain Sandy over him. What Below Deck fans think sets him apart is his willingness to hear complaints and make changes when necessary, coupled with his hands-off approach managerial style that is much different than Captain Sandy or Captain Lee. And those who believe Captain Glenn to be the best Below Deck captain are the minority, but Captain Glenn has also had fewer seasons to shine. The fact that most of the Below Deck viewers are used to seeing how things are run on the motor yacht versus a sailing yacht could also be why the majority of fans favored the other two captains. Number 3. Chef Adam Glick is hot. Below Deck Med and Below Deck Sailing Yacht viewers got several sides of Adam, and his forward and intense personality turned most viewers off. But there are those who can't deny he's good looking. And a lot of people who watched him as a chef and watched his behavior outside of the job could not get over the different traits that they didn't like about him and how quickly he became unfocused and took his problems out on everyone else. The saying, quote, cute but psycho, exists, and that is a phrase that many have attributed to Adam, who isn't shy about posting thirst trap snaps on social media. Number 4. Hannah Farrier is more likable than Kate Chastain. Now, Kate got a reputation as being unapproachable and a bully, and also a mean girl during her time on Below Deck. But Hannah came off as untruthful, dramatic, lazy, and scornful on Below Deck Med. Now, while these bad traits are what viewers honed in on, fans still saw redeeming qualities in Hannah and Kate. Kate is more liked than Hannah by fans, and the popular opinion is that she was wholly more likable than Hannah because of her charismatic interviews and her job professionalism and her funny analysis of different crews and things that went on the ship. However, the less talked about argument is that Hannah was actually more likable than Kate because she was more relatable and entertaining. Number 5. Jessica Moore was more to blame than Rob Westergard for their tumultuous relationship. Let's talk about it. Rob and Jess's boat romance played out on season 5 of Below Deck Med, with a bulk of viewers feeling like Rob was to blame. And the main theory was that Rob was consistently gaslighting Jess and fanning the flames of her toxic jealousy. And while most agree that Rob set their relationship on a downward spiral by love bombing Jess too early, there are those that actually think that Jessica's immaturity and insecurities are what turned their connection into a complete disaster. But then again, there are Below Deck critics with an unpopular opinion that think that Jess too often played the victim and would lead them to vicious cycles that they got into and would get colder and even more controlling as her jealousy boiled over. Number 6. The Brew Crew of Below Deck Season 7 wasn't that bad. While the behavior of the so-called Brew Crew, made up of Ashton PNR, Tanner Stairback, and Chef Kevin Dobson, on season 7 of Below Deck was misogynistic and unacceptable to the majority of Below Deck fans. There are also those out there who did not have as much of a problem with them. This unpopular viewpoint believes that Riley Gerber and Kate Chastain were major instigators and the catalyst for the behavior that was demonstrated. The Brew Crew apologized during the reunion, which was good enough for some Below Deck fans to not find their behavior as outrageous. But on the flip side, the girls didn't take accountability and instead berated Tanner and Ashton. Number 7. Lloyd Spencers' anxiety storyline was excessive. Lloyd Spencers' main storyline and narrative on season 6 of Below Deck Med was about his previous bad yachting experiences and the anxiety he felt from that and his push to be more open. And while most Below Deck fans related to Lloyd's struggle, there were some that felt like his anxiety was highlighted too often in an industry where a main theme of the work is to overcome obstacles. The fact his drinking and partying with the crew was not discussed as a determinant for any anxiety or, quote, hangxiety, as it can be referred to, that also played a part in the unpopular opinion that his anxiety narrative was a bit much. Number 8. Disliking a crewmate because they don't match the energy of everyone else is a valid complaint. Many Below Deck fans felt like the stewardess, like Jessica Albert and Caroline Badal, were treated unfairly by the crew for not matching their energy. The majority of viewers felt like the women who were pigeonholed by their coworkers as slow and unenthusiastic were also sandbagged and bullied. But the other side of fan opinions point out that complaining about a coworker who acts like that is totally valid. Now, the unpopular opinion is that a client-facing service industry job like a stewardess on Below Deck does not have room for any brooding stewardesses and that being moody can be detrimental to the charter's success. Number 9. Chef Rachel Hargrove's drunken behavior was not as bad as it was made out to seem. A big deal was made out of Chef Rachel's drunken antics on season 8 of Below Deck, with many viewers and crew members thinking that Rachel had a drinking problem. But there were fans who believed that Rachel's behavior wasn't that bad. Compared to the drunken behavior of some of the different crew members, some fans feel Rachel got too much of negative spotlight put on her. And the argument is that Rachel is also raunchy when she is sober, so drawing so much focus on her day off was mostly entertaining and not concerning since she didn't hurt anyone. Number 10. Kate Chastain was a bully and a mean girl. Kate Chastain is widely loved by Below Deck fans who watched her over 6 seasons on Below Deck. Her dedication to providing an outstanding guest experience, coupled with her sharp and witty commentary and personality, are what sets her apart. While many Kate fans acknowledge that she could have approached things differently when it comes to how she managed her stews and gotten along with crew members, there are other viewers who only see Kate to be a bully and a mean girl. Specifically, Below Deck critics think that Kate's catty behavior overshadowed her merits as a chief stew. Relating to the stews that viewers think she wronged, like Amy, Simone, Jen, and Caroline, gives a perspective into Kate that some would say are wholly negative and make her out to be a bad coworker. Alright, I think that wraps up our Below Deck unpopular opinions. Did we miss one? Let us know in the comments. And as always, like this video, share if you care, and we'll see you all at the next one.